And we have a special guest today. Herschel Frierson is in the USA. Herschel, good day to you.
Good day. How are you?
We're fantastic. It is so good to have you with us. And you're a big personality in the accounting world. Tell us a little bit about what you do and your journey to here.
Yeah, no, first and foremost, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. It's always great to talk about not only my journey in the accounting profession, but more importantly, just, my passion around diversity, equity, and inclusion. I felt, I would say a little bit about myself is, fell in love with the accounting profession when I was in high school. I took accounting classes in high school and followed that passion into college. Went to Butler University here in Indianapolis, Indiana, here in the States. And then I joined Crowe LLP. I call myself a little bit of a unicorn in a profession, is because I actually been with Crowe ever since I graduated from college. So it's been about probably a little over 26 years now.
Wow.
I've been with the same firm, been in the accounting profession, and had the opportunity to serve, different roles within Crowe. Right now, I lead our Office of Strategic Networks, and really excited about the opportunity the firm has given me. And at the same time, as I, started at the firm, I knew it going into profession. I quickly realized there was not a lot of people that look like me in the profession, right? And the one thing my parents always told me, and taught me, is always, give as much back to your community as you've gotten.
Yeah.
And when I started off at Crowe, I needed a support system. So I was introduced to the National Association of Black Accountants, and it was a great foundation for me. Supported me, helped me build my skill sets. And as I grew within the firm and developed my skill sets and leadership within the firm, I also, as well as learned more about NABA, became a leader within NABA in various stages. I was the Indianapolis chapter president. I became a regional officer, and then I sat around the national board, and then 26 years later, here I am, the chairman of the board of the National Association of Black Accountants, and do whatever I can to support the profession that I love, support our members, helping them be successful, supporting the communities we work and serve in, and just highlighting the great opportunities in accounting, but more specifically supporting people that look like me, and bringing diversity to the profession.
Yeah, that's so great. What a wonderful story. And how would you sum up what kind of shape the accounting profession is in right now, not just in the USA, but globally, Herschel, from what you're seeing?
Yeah, I think, globally, so I'll say two things. One, I say that there is great opportunity across the world. Globally. Many of our clients across the world are needing, people in the accounting profession to help them be successful. Who knew, right? Rob, 10, 15 years ago, we talked about ESG, like, what is ESG? It's just something in the alphabet, right? And now it's a whole new opportunity for us in the accounting profession to support, the communities, our clients. It's just a great opportunity. You talk about ESG, but then I think at the same time, I think there's a lot of opportunities for growth to get more young people in the accounting profession. I think this is a great time to really be more active across the globe in introducing young people to directions you can go. I always say that, we need to bring sexy back to accounting. Right. And put it as the premier place for, young people to focus on when they go to college and come out of college. So I think there's a lot of room to grow for young people. And then even more so for young people that look like me, bringing more diversity to the profession. So there's always work to be done.
Sure. You speak very proudly about the profession. We can see the passion in you. But let's be honest here, things are not all right. What has accounting got wrong over the years? How have we got to here?
Yeah, I think, what we have, those opportunity areas for growth, I think, at least over the years, we have not been as intentional about diversity in the profession. And I think that's, what we're focusing on now is being very intentional about bringing D&I to the profession, supporting, people that look like me in the profession. And when I say supporting, I think there's several things. One is recruiting, right? Getting more young people in the profession, but also, retaining, right? It's one thing to recruit young people into the profession, young, diverse people, African Americans in the profession. But, there's two different phases to it, right? You have to retain, people, retain diverse talent, right? It doesn't do us any good if you recruit, but then you don't keep them, right? And then the third piece that we don't talk about, and we need to do a better job as a profession, is what I would call advancing or promoting individuals, right? Is we need more partners that look like me across the firms. We need more people that look like me, that CFOs across the world. So we have got to, as a profession, be more intentional in focusing on diversity, but being more intentional about, when we talk about diversity, helping firms and companies keep their people, keep their diverse talent. But, I go back to, we also have got to help them advance, right? Help people that look like me advance so they can get to the table, they can make the decisions, right? It's all about getting a seat at the table, right? And
let me ask an ignorant question, Herschel, and we'll get you on in another episode to talk about how firms do this, how they recruit, how they retain, how they advance and promote. I love that. But the ignorant question is, why is this a problem? What's the big deal? Accounting has been as it is for hundreds of years. Yes, you could argue that it's white dominated, the stale male and pale label of accounting. But why is diversity such a big deal now?
Well, it's always been a big deal, right? It's always, depending on who you ask, right?
But we're talking about it now.
Yeah, right. And I think, obviously, over the past recent years, unfortunately, there's been a lot of, in our world globally, with the George Floyd, the Breonna Taylors, Ahmaud Arbery's.
Sure.
There's been an acknowledgement of social injustice across the world of people that look like me. And, in the accounting profession, I think that the profession has, said we also need to do a better job. If we see what is going on, we need to acknowledge that we're not where we need to be, right? And there has been an acknowledgement within the profession that we have, just looking at the data, right? Us as accountants always look at the data and asking that very question, like, why hasn't our profession changed, right? And you see that less and less people, young people, are going into the profession. You point back to, well, because we have not been intentional on opening our arms up for everyone.
There's no role models for them really to look at to say, I want to be like that.
Right. Yeah. I always say when I talk to different companies and individuals, it is, if you see it, you can be it, right? And I'm a big proponent of that, is that, as I said, you need more people in leadership positions. You need more partners in firms, because, young people can point to, say, Herschel got to that level in this particular profession. I can get to that level as well, right? And, having those role models in front gets the excitement of, young people that look like me to stay in the profession, to work hard to get to that level, because they see other people that look like them in that position.
Is racism a problem in accounting, Herschel?
I wouldn't say racism is a problem in accounting. I say that racism is a problem in the world, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to put it on I'm not going to put it on a profession, but it is just a problem in the world. And, we all play a part, right? We all play a part in educating our peers, educating our communities about, making sure that, we talk about the equity piece of diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? You want the equity piece and you want the inclusion, right? You want everyone to feel included, so, I'll focus on the understanding that racism is a problem in the world that, we all play a part in. And, in my position, I'm going to continue to fight for everyone to make sure everyone, feels included.
That's a really good point. Race is just one side of this, isn't it? We can look at gender, we can look at orientation, we can look at background and social class. Do you talk to your peers in other organizations like the NABA to talk about marginalization and minorities and how that's playing out in accounting?
Yeah, I think we continue to talk about opportunities and ways and initiatives to, make sure everyone feels included, right? The inclusion piece of it, right? I think that's, part of my role is to help individuals, help companies, help firms, put in initiatives, programs, be a support system so that everyone feels included to be the best that they can be within their organization, and the organization can be the best of themselves. We're constantly, talking to each other about, what are you doing that works? What are you doing that's not working? Okay, what can we do better? What can we do together to make sure that, there's opportunities, for everyone equally, and just to enjoy the profession that we love.
Yeah. I admitted to asking an ignorant question. There's a lot of people not seeing the problem because it's not on the agenda. So it is an ignorance thing. There's not necessarily any overt racism there. They just see the world as what it is and everybody looks like them and they get on with it. So where would firms and individuals start by putting DEI on the agenda a little more?
Yeah, I think it is, first, I always say there's resources out there for you, right? Right. There's diverse professional organizations like the National Association of Black Accountants. So I always push, I'm biased, right? So, but I always, tell firms and companies, when they want to, go down this path is, you're not on this journey by yourself, right? And I think that's the key with all of this is you're not on an island by yourself. There are people like myself. There are organizations like the National Association of Black Accountants that are there for you to help you in your journey, right? So I always say start there, and then from there is, you need to identify, what are you trying to accomplish, right? What is your culture within your organization? What are you looking to change? What are you looking to enhance, right? And starting with going to the resources that are available to you, but also acknowledging and understanding, where are you trying to get to? What are you trying to accomplish? Many companies, organizations have different focuses, but within their culture, they'll always ask the question is, what are you trying to get to? What are your goals? What is important to you?
You have a strong profile, Herschel, and you've earned the right for that. You've been in this game holding the flag for a long time. What about the young Black accountants and other minorities that are out there thinking, well, there's stuff going on in my firm, but I don't call it out because I have no support. I don't know what the reaction will be. What do you say to that?
Well, you have support, right?
Right.
You're looking at one, right? You're looking at one, right? I think that is as an opportunity for you to grow as a leader, as a young person, right?
By
Knowing
doing what? By saying what?
by getting involved, right? But by making sure your voice is heard and getting involved in the National Association of Black Accountants. There are many diverse professional organizations.
Sure.
You know, so there's opportunities for you as a young professional, once you join NABA, right, to be a part of initiative and programs and learn, you know, kind of the question you just asked me, right? Learn from other people. It's like, hey, what are you doing at your firm that I can bring back to my company?
Sure.
Right? And then you work with your leaders within your company. Say, hey, let's join NABA. Let's go to the NABA convention. Let's be a part of the ACAP program. There is always people out there for your support. I think what's so powerful now in a global society is that you have access to resources,
yeah.
right? You have access to people like myself. You have access to, you know, to NABA, you know. So for the young people, I always encourage them, like, you have resources, right? You have resources that you can lean on and say, hey, how do I approach my leader, you know, if I want to do this? Or can you come in and speak to my leaders and help push the case for me? You know, what can I do on an individual basis, you know, to give back to my community? I think that's what's so powerful right now for our young professionals, no matter, you know, what color they are, is that there is, you know, people like yourself and me who are out there for support, and they're going to get that support. And honestly, many companies and firms, you know, want to learn from their people, right? They want to learn is, how can we better ourselves as an organization? How can we better ourselves as a firm? You know, so.
That makes good sense. And I'm thinking, with the interviews we've done with Professor Anton Lewis, he speaks on diversity and these kind of things. And he's a Black guy in accounting like you. And he says the starting point is to call stuff out and have honest conversations. Mm-hmm. And people don't talk about it enough. People don't ask enough questions, show enough curiosity. They don't listen well enough. And it all starts with good dialogue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And an intention, as you say.
Yeah, I think it's important, right? I think it's you must have a safe space to have honest conversations, right? You and that's no matter what we're focused on, you know, whether it be minorities, sexual orientation, you know, women, you name it, right? Is you got to create a space for what I call tough conversations.
Yes.
Right. But it's also got to be a safe space, right? Is like, hey, I need to ask you a question, and it's not coming from a bad place, but I'm seeking to understand. And, you know, the receiver also had to receive it as a question of understanding, and then working together to come up with solutions to make each other better, to make their organizations better, and more importantly, to make the community better.
Mm. Tell us about your counterparts, say, in women as a group. We know that accounting is probably 80% men. So will they be having similar challenges to you in terms of representation and promotion, or are they having different issues?
I think I would say each group has their own unique challenges.
Right.
I mean,
okay.
there are some common, I think there's common themes.
Right.
You know, there are common themes, but I think each group has unique challenges, right? And when we focus on women, you know, it is, you know, one of the common themes, you know, that I see, you know, from my perspective is, you know, can you have a family and be a leader?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, you know, and, you know, what does that look like? And can I have a family and still be a leader within a company, be a leader within a firm? And, you know, also being included, right, is, you know, making sure that no matter what sexual orientation, that you feel included in conversations and you feel included in the opportunities, to grow. And we all need to learn from each other, right? Some of the challenges that women may face, may not be challenges that, me as an African-American male may face per se, but, we can always learn from each other, right? And how we can better ourselves, better our organizations.
I understand. I'm just looking at your LinkedIn profile now, Herschel, as we speak, and 24 years at Crowe or more. Tell us about that journey. When you got there, did you have to, for want of a better phrase, bang a drum and open up this agenda, or did they get it right from day one with you to give you the platform you've got right now?
Yeah, no, I think that the firm has always focused on diversity, equity, inclusion. That's why I stay there, now, like I said, 26 years. And
you found a home there almost immediately then, did you?
Yeah, I found a home there but there was always more work to be done, right? In every firm, in every company, if you take a look in the mirror, there is always work to be done. What's important for me in organizations is that you're trying, and that, year after year, you're moving the needle, right? That you're doing something that is going to move the needle. And, here at Crowe, and, why I've been here for so long, it's a family. And, they have allowed me the opportunity to follow my passion, which, right, is important to me, right? And, that's why I kind of share with a lot of companies and other firms is that you also got to allow your family members, I call, employees family members, to pursue their passion. And if they pursue their passion, no matter what it is, whatever it is, no matter what it is, whether it be, coaching, baseball or football or, whatever their passion is, if you give the flexibility and the support for your people, you're going to get the best out of them at work, right? Yeah. Knowing that the company, the firm that they work for is supporting them in their passion outside of work. For me, it was diversity in the accounting profession, and the firm has, put me in a position where it allows me to pursue that passion and hopefully make a difference in the profession. So I think that's extremely important is firms and companies create a culture that is welcoming for us as individuals, to pursue our passion. And like I said, once again, it brings your best self to work, knowing that you work for a firm or a company or an organization where you can, be your authentic self and also, pursue your passion and be supported. Mm.
You're very passionate about leadership, Herschel. What separates the good leaders from the great ones, would you say?
I don't know. It's a great question. And I've never looked at it as what separates the good from a great leader. I try not to judge who's a good or great leader. What I try to focus on is what can I do to better myself as a leader.
Okay, that's a good reframe. But we know what bad leaders look like, don't we?
Yeah,
we have some of them as prime ministers and presidents on the conversations.
Right. But for me, I think a good or a great leader is someone that constantly reflects on what they could do better.
Okay.
Right. A lead, when you're in a leadership position, you can't take it lightly, right? Because, for me, it's a key word, lead. You're leading individuals, you're leading a company, you're leading an organization. And, you have a responsibility to better the organization, the company, the firm, the individuals that you're leading. And, I think, I guess, honestly, going back to your question is a great leader someone who knows they don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
Right.
That's wisdom.
Right. Is that you don't have all the answers and you're okay with leaning on other people and also accepting feedback to better yourself as a leader. Right. There is always something I could do better as a leader. right? There is always a different approach I can go. There's always something, reflecting back on a decision I made or how I responded back to someone that you say, oh, maybe I could have, answered it this way, or my tone could have been a little bit better than it was. Um, so I think going from a good to great leader, I kind of let other people judge, like say like myself, like, are you a good leader? Are you a great leader? That's not for me to choose or to making a decision on. What I focus on is what I can do to better myself, but more importantly, what I can do to better other people, right?
Mm.
If other people are being successful, then I've done my job,
Yeah.
in my opinion, from a leadership standpoint.
Of course. And I'm asking because you've not got to where you are on your own. You've had mentors, you've had coaches, you've had people that have spoken into your life that you've respected. You've had people that have led you down a path that you're now a long way down. So there must be something about them that you thought, well, this guy gets it, this woman gets it, this person, this is someone I can get alongside.
Yeah, no, it is. You're 100% right. I think it's, over the years, I've been honored and blessed to have some great individuals who've mentored me and still mentor me. The one thing I tell young people is make sure you surround yourself with people that don't agree with you. Right? And get people that is going to push back on you, right? It's easy to surround yourself with, yes, I agree, Herschel, I agree.
People like you.
People like yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard. And you as an individual have to deal with it with, someone says, no, I actually agree with what your manager or this particular person said to you or their approach to things. So I think I try to gather, as much from other people, other leaders that I see, even if it's, seeing someone speak on the TV screen, like, okay, what can I get from that? Or someone I see, walking down the street and I see something powerful that they did. I'm like, I like that. I'm gonna take a piece of that. So you're constantly, like I said, you're constantly, finding ways to better yourself as leader. And that includes, surrounding yourself with people who's going to give you honest feedback, that's going to be transparent with you. But then, individuals that, you can lean on when you're like, hey, help me with this particular situation.
Got it. Yeah. Is there any really bad doctrine or bad advice you see being dispensed in the accounting world? Any myths that you want to bust right now?
Not so much bad information, bad disinformation, whatever the case may be. I think for me, I focus on just reigniting the fire for young people that, that accounting is sexy. And there's so much great opportunities in the accounting profession today, is that, you can follow your passion in the accounting profession, right? If you like to volunteer in the community and you're really focused on the community, well, there's you can go into the profession in not-for-profit, right? Or if you like sports, right? You can go into the sports field, become a controller of a professional sports team. So I really want to, just get across to young people that you can, whatever your passion is, the accounting profession is the umbrella for it, right? We always say, which is true, and I don't know if you're, was told this years ago, Rob, is that accounting is a language of business.
Yes.
Right? As old as that terminology has been, it is so true. And for me, it's just really making sure we just be intentional to help young people understand that the accounting profession is great. There's great opportunity, and also being very intentional about, focus on people that look like myself, on the opportunities in the accounting profession, but also making sure that we put in the building blocks for people that look like me to be successful in the accounting profession.
Yeah, I got that. Is there anything you believe deeply that other people think is crazy? You're an outspoken guy. I'm just thinking you must have some things that you hold to dearly that other people think, wow, man, you're out there.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think, I think I've been, I'm pretty grounded in, what my passion is. Um, I think that for me is I just want to continue to better myself, and want to continue to better the profession, continue to better the organization I'm the chairman of, the National Association of Black Accountants. So, I don't think, at least it's been told to my face, there's been anything that's like, oh, wow, you're really out there around this. But I think it is just, just.
Well, you're out there thinking accounting is sexy. There'll be a lot
I
of
know,
people
right?
thinking,
Yeah,
wow, that's
some people,
crazy.
some people might be like, really? Right? Like really, so I think if that's probably the wildest thing is I'll take it is that, there's probably people in other professions, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, who's saying, what are you saying about accounting?
Yeah.
So it's, I just appreciate platforms like this to get the word out, to continue to better the profession.
It is great to have you on and have you speak so passionately and earnestly about what is going on out there, because we can get very single-minded about it or narrowly focused and seeing our little slice of the world, our little corner of the office. Everybody looks like us, our clients look like us, our world looks like us, and we just miss out on that richness and that cultural diversity in so many ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And I appreciate the opportunity, right? Yeah, I think I look forward to speaking to you again, but more importantly, continue to help support the profession and help bring in more focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and more people that look like me into the profession. So I appreciate Rob giving me the platform to discuss this important topic.
What happens though if more people that look like you come in and less people that look like me come in, and we're going to have a whole flipping of what's going on right here, and you guys will be ruling the world, which is great, but that's not happening, is it? What's going on?
Yeah, no, I think it's
there's a balance, isn't there? That's what I'm trying to get to.
I think it's a balance. I welcome to have that discussion.
Yeah, sure.
When that happens, I think there's enough room for everybody, and continuing to push the needle.
Yeah, a couple more questions just to finish off here, Herschel. This is terrific. If people want to have a conversation with you, we'll put your contact details in the show notes here so they know how to get in touch. Are you open to having conversations with anyone, and how do those conversations tend to go? How can you help them?
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes in so many different directions. I think it's, once again, it's just people that reach out to me have different focuses,
right,
and what they're trying to get to, right? Some is, like, hey, give me feedback on, what we're trying to do within the walls of our organization. Others are, hey, I need a resource to help with, hiring diverse talent. I need to, work with someone on creating a new program and different initiative. So the great thing is it spans so many different opportunities, and so many different grounds. So.
And what's coming up for Herschel Frierson over the next few years? You're at the top of the game now with NABA, and you're doing everything with Crowe. So how does the next few years look for you, sir?
Yeah, but I think for me personally, I think the future looks bright. One of the things I want to continue to do is, elevate my career, right? I want to continue to move upward within the firm. I want to continue to bring new opportunities to Crowe.
You want a bigger seat at bigger tables, don't you?
Right. Yeah. I want to make sure that, open up more doors.
Yeah.
For the firm across not only the country, but across the globe.
Absolutely.
And, I think I just want to make sure I help support NABA and continue to advance its mission and continue to, bring young people that look like me to the profession.
Well, let's just finally ask, let's say you and I are sat having this conversation in 10 years' time. Where will we be, do you think? What's coming up for the accounting profession around this conversation in the next few years?
Yeah, I think I hope and going to be continue to work hard that our numbers will continue to increase from a diversity standpoint. That we're going to see more leaders that look like me as partners, as directors, as CFOs. So I truly believe that is the direction we're going to go in. But I will, also would tell you, Rob, in 10 years, I'm still going to tell you I'm not going to be satisfied.
I know that.
Right?
You're saying there's still work to do, right?
Right. There's still work to do, right? I wrote an article. It's like it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Sure.
Right. And it's a marathon that's always evolving or continuing. So
do you put numbers on it, Herschel? Do you say, right, 2% of accountants now are Black and we want to get that to 5 by this time? Can you think of it like that? You have better numbers than me. I'm just making those up.
The data point is a guide for, the way I look at it, the data point is a guide to see, okay, are we moving the needle? I don't look at it as, okay, if we're at 5%, then we're done, right?
Yeah.
For me, it is, are we moving the needle? Is the profession shifting? And then we can take that data point, like how much did it shift, right? If it went up 1% in 10 years, it went up 1%, but there's more we need to be done. How do we look at things differently? So I look at the data points as a guide to see, okay, what more do we need to do? What less of we got to do in this particular area to make a difference? Like I said,
and all Black accounting firms, all Black law firms, that's not the answer, is it? Or
right.
is it?
I mean, it is, with diverse firms, it is not so much individuals within a profession is, but are they growing as a firm, right? As a company.
But all Black accounting firms, they do exist, do they, Herschel?
Yes, they do. They do. Minority-owned firms, right?
Okay.
And I think what's important for firms like minority firms is increasing their market share.
Okay.
Right? It is, we talk about supplier diversity, right? It is, and that's another thing I'm a big supporter of is minority African-American owned firms. It is, what are we doing to make sure that they're increasing their revenue, their employees, things of that nature. So.
Yeah. Well, Herschel Frierson, basketball fan, football fan, chairman of the National Association of Black Accountants, principal at Crowe. It's been such a joy to have you on today and talk through some of these sensitive but really important subjects. Thank you so much for your time, your passion, and your insights.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
You've been watching or listening to the Accounting Influencers podcast featuring hosts Rob Brown and Martin Bissett with key interviews, what's working in the accounting profession, and news from the accounting and fintech world that helps you do your jobs better. We go out to 144 countries, over 20,000 unique listeners with 100,000 downloads, and it is accredited for continued professional education and development. Thank you for tuning in.